here we go. So these will all be on Flickr in JPEG form at least, so you can capture them and see what I'm talking about. But the first thing I wanted to kind of highlight, I used two different lenses, the 200 2.8 and the 10 to 25 1.7, which is not ideal for frogs like this. It just doesn't have the reach, and you have to get definitely closer than I would like. The frog ran away once I got that close, but he was pretty calm with the 200. And the 200, this is what's so great about it, is it has a really short minimum focus distance. But I cannot stress enough, it does not matter if you're shooting micro four thirds or full frame. If you're not close enough to your subject, you're not going to get good image quality. And if you are close enough to your subject, you usually will get really good image quality. These shots are not an example of amazing image quality, but I think they're an example of getting something usable in the circumstances that you're dealt with. So, certainly there's better lenses. If I had a really fast, fast lens, or again, like the OM90 with the flash or something, obviously that would have been much better if I didn't care about blinding the little guy, but we'll use what we had. So first, let's look at a bad sample. Now, I had the lens open at 2.8, 1/100th, and I cranked it up to ISO 3200. He's so small, I knew I'd have to crop, and that's pretty rough. This photo without cropping, there's nothing going on here. It's bad photo. But I just wanted to get a shot just as a safety shot in case I had nothing. I wasn't actually even in the pool. We're ripping out this pool. It's this old, nasty pool, and we're ripping it out this summer, but it had about 6 inches of water and leaves in it. So I got my rubber boots and thought I'll just walk through the pool and get up as close as I can. So this was, 20 feet away probably from the frog. I hadn't gotten in the pool. Then I got in closer, better, still not great, 3200 still, 1/100th. Better, but not good. It's you could start to probably denoise that and get something a little. If you denoise that, you could probably get something a little more workable. But again, I figure proximity was going to be king. Starting to get closer here again, 1/100th. Still kept it at 3200. This one I probably actually missed focus on a little bit. But you can kind of see getting closer to the frog is starting to definitely make a difference. And again, this one's not as sharp as I would like, but zooming in, it's definitely super noisy. And a full frame here, you would have had less noise for sure. But I think it's starting to be close enough that you're okay. The rest of the image is not looking brutal. The blacks are just black. The blue on the side of the pool liner is noisy, but you could easily denoise that out. And now we're getting closer still. And this is where things started to get usable. So this is, at this point now I'm up at the minimum focus at 4 feet away, and you're starting to get nice fall off on the rest of the frog. Actually, this might have been one that I could have edited. Could probably sharpen that up a little bit, but that's kind of neat. So that's some really nice fall off from the 200 when you look at how the body falls out. Obviously you've got your topaz and stuff like that, but even if you just even cleaning up some of the luminance noise, definitely makes a big difference right away. Just smoothing out the picture. That makes a big difference. And again, sharpness here is my thing. I definitely missed. At this, you can see I'm at 1/30th of a second, so I could drop the ISO to 1600, which is a lot more usable for sure. 3200 was okay too. If you go back to a 32, where's one of the 3200s? And if we pull out some of that luminance noise, that cleans up the noise, but you're going to lose detail in the frog for sure. But 1600 felt better, and 1/30th felt okay. But I guess that's one of the strengths of the camera. I just rattled off a huge burst, tried to hold it still. It was kind of at an awkward angle where I couldn't brace the camera on my eye. So I'm definitely getting some motion blur in some of these, but the image is cleaning up a lot more. I think one of these actually is where things started to be okay. That's definitely sharp enough for me. Again, considering too, and I feel like I'm going to get trolls in the comments about how I hate that image quality. Remember, I'm shooting pitch black at night at 1/30th of a second at 400 millimeters handheld. That's just you couldn't do this with a a big 8-pound 400 2.8 on a full frame kit or something. You'd have to have your monopod and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, totally. There's better equipped lenses I can't even think of it now that I'm saying it off the top of my head. Maybe a 70 to 200, like up close on full frame, might have given you a little bit more juice. But I think that the point I'm making is you can definitely get usable shots if you do this smart. So this one, like this one finally is pretty sharp. Is this the one that I edited? 535. It is, yeah. So this is the one I edited, but I didn't reduce any noise. I pulled back some of the yellow from the light because it was a very yellow. Like they're kind of gray. I saw another one today, but they're kind of gray. But this kind of like messed that up. And I'm gonna try to denoise this at the end because the one I posted on Instagram I didn't denoise. But again, that was 1/30th. And then we tried the shorter lens. I don't have many shots from that because when I was culling, I was just looking for shots that worked. And they didn't really do a great job. It just it was too small in frame, even though it was a stop and a third faster. But the 200 is really nice. I mean, this is an interesting lens to use for amphibians and stuff like that. Again, you got really cool fall off. Again, pitch black, dark, other than this one light. A flash would have really done better. And actually, maybe I will learn how to flash these guys with some ethics in mind. This was the only shot I did with the 10 to 25. This is at 25 and at 1.7. And if we compare that to, that's the 200. So you can see like just how much closer the 200 is. The light, well, these are up at 4,000. Oh, because I went back up to 1/100th. This is at 1600, but that one's not sharp. That's the same one. Is that the same one again? What am I doing? That's a different picture, but that's at 1/30th. So, I mean, it's funny. You can see, like, other than him breathing, or her, I don't know, there wasn't any movement, which certainly helped. It's funny, too, because the fall off, when you compare the fall off, depending on the angle, like on this angle, we've got more of the feet, but when you look at some of those side angles on the 200, you're getting a lot of fall off on the body. So again, even though you got the 1.7, the telephoto compression makes a big difference. I definitely prefer the 200 in these shots. So yeah, we are going to, what are we going to do? We're going to go back. I'm going to denoise the shot I edited. Which one did I edit here? I think it's this one. And we're going to speed ahead because I've only got an M1. So I don't know how long this is going to take. We'll denoise at 40. That sounds fine. Let's just do it and see what happens. Let's just do it. Okay, and here we go. That took, I don't know, 2 minutes. But that's not terrible. That's not terrible. If we mask our subject and let's sharpen him up a little bit. I mean, that's not bad. For a night photo, I'm happy with it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with that. It's still a little yellow for my liking. Oh, now it's way too blue. Okay. I guess we'll leave them. But yeah, I'm happy with the fall off. I think, again, for 1/30th of a second handheld at night, I think that's a perfectly acceptable image. It's cool. If it was a species I saw and I was out doing something cool, then I'd be happy with it. I would think it's cool. I think I can do better with these because hopefully now that I know how to find them, I can hopefully find them more often and then like get the flash and do something cool. Those cool feet are so cool. So cool. I'm into this. I like tree frogs. So maybe we'll do some more herping in here. But yeah, I'm going to upload all of these photos and you can go see for yourself. But I think like you can definitely shoot in low light on the G9ii or Micro Four Thirds. You just have to get close. Try not to do a lot of cropping. Get as fast glass as you can. And that's the thing. 2.8 is giving you the same exposure on Micro Four Thirds as it is on full frame. Just the full frame is going to handle the noise a bit better. So, I mean, I think that's a difference. But remember, for everybody who's going to compare full frame, I don't want to hear you comparing a 400 2.8 $15,000 lens unless you actually own and shoot it. Because this lens costs $3,000 Canadian. This lens costs the same as your average 100 to 400 5.6, but it's 2 stops faster. So my 400 millimeter Micro Four Thirds prime is getting you the same light or better, and actually better light with the same fall off as the full frame. So let's not compare stuff that we're not actually buying. We'll do more later.